I woke up, everything was dark. I couldn't see anything, not even my own hand in front of my face. My heart started pounding in my chest, and I reached out, trying to feel where I was. My fingers brushed against something hard and smooth, wood. Panic set in as I pushed against it, but it wouldn't move. Then I realized, I was in a box. No, not just a box, a coffin. I was trapped in a coffin. I screamed, banging my fists against the wood above me, hoping someone would hear me. But the sound was muffled, and there was no response. I felt the space around me, trying to make sense of where I was. That's when my hand touched something cold. I froze. Slowly, I reached out again, and my hand landed on something soft. My stomach turned as I realized it wasn't just the lining of the coffin. It was flesh. My fingers moved over the surface, feeling the shape of a face, then hair. There was no mistaking it, I was lying next to a dead body. I tried to pull away, but there was nowhere to go. My breathing grew rapid, and the air felt thin. I started to hyperventilate, my mind racing. How did I end up here? Why was I in this coffin? And who was the body next to me? I forced myself to calm down, taking slow, shallow breaths. I had to think. I had to get out of here. I pushed against the lid again, harder this time, but it wouldn't budge. The air was getting stuffier by the second, and I could feel sweat trickling down my face. Then, something happened that made my blood run cold. The body next to me moved. I felt it, a small twitch, just enough to let me know I wasn't alone in this nightmare. My heart stopped. Was it still alive? Or was something else happening? I didn't want to find out, but I had no choice. I couldn't escape. Help! I screamed again, banging harder on the lid. Somebody help me. There was no sound from outside, only the creaking of the coffin as I thrashed around. The body beside me shifted again, and I could feel it pressing closer. It wasn't alive. I knew that much. It was too cold, too still. But something was moving it, and I wasn't about to wait and find out what. I closed my eyes tight, trying to focus on breathing, trying not to think about the dead weight beside me. But then I heard it. A sound I'll never forget. A whisper. Faint, but there. Why, are you here? I froze, my heart nearly stopping. The voice was raspy, like it had been pulled from a throat long dead. I opened my eyes, even though I couldn't see anything, and I whispered back, "Who are you?" Silence, the body didn't move again. The air in the coffin grew heavy, and I felt like I was drowning in it. My hands shook as I fumbled around, searching for anything, any way out. I didn't care about the voice anymore. I just needed to escape, but then, I heard it again. Closer this time. "Why, are you here?" I wanted to scream, to beg for mercy, but no sound came out of my mouth. I could feel the body shifting again, pressing against me, like it was trying to get closer. My mind raced with fear, every muscle in my body frozen with terror. And then, just as suddenly as it had started, everything stopped. The body went still. The whispering ceased. It was like the coffin itself was holding its breath, waiting. I lay there, trembling, too afraid to move. The silence was suffocating. And then I heard it, a scraping sound, like nails dragging against the wood. It was coming from the other side of the coffin, outside. Someone, or something, was trying to open it. That I braced myself, every nerve in my body screaming in fear. The scraping grew louder, and then, light. The coffin lid cracked open, and I gasped for air, blinking against the sudden brightness. I looked up, expecting to see a rescuer, someone pulling me from this nightmare. But what I saw instead froze me in place. A face, pale and gaunt, with empty eyes stared down at me. It wasn't human. And then, the lid slammed shut again, plunging me back into darkness. This time, I knew there would be no escape.